Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video day. Today, the Houston Astros lose to the Boston Red Sox 4-1, take a tough series loss. As the Astros, even though they took a series loss, lost these last two games 6-5 and 4-1, I really can't say I'm surprised that the Astros lost these final two games, and I'm going to go over two reasons why. Reason number one is when a team like the Houston Astros, who are red hot, their pitching is just killing it. And not only is their pitching just killing it, but their offense is on fire. They're going to have a game or two where the offense is not really clicking a lot. And, they take a couple losses. And this wasn't a game where the Astros weren't able to hit 8 hits. But this was a game where, they were getting hits and they were getting walks. But they just couldn't bring in runs, only one run. But the Astros being red hot is not the only reason why I'm not surprised the Astros lost these two final games of this series. It's the Reds. The other reason is the Red Sox. When a team like the Red Sox, who are not a bad team at all, they're 67-59. They're in the wild card race. When a team like the Boston Red Sox, who have shown some really good things this year, lose 4 straight games to the Houston Astros, even though the Astros are red hot. Because you go back to Boston, the Astros won 3 straight games, and Boston absolutely killed Boston. And then go to Monday night, Astros get a big win, get a huge walk-off win to start off this series. I mean, they're ready to get some wins. When you lose 4 straight times to a team, you're going to make adjustments, of course. And winning 4 straight times against a team is really impressive. And Boston's not really a team that I think the Astros really would have pulled off 2 sweeps against, or even maybe gone 5-1 against this year. So really not surprised that the Astros lost these final 2 games, and especially with how hot the offense has been. And honestly, I'd rather see the Astros lose these final 2 games against the Boston Red Sox than drop a couple against really good teams like the Baltimore Orioles coming up, because the Astros face the Orioles this weekend, Thursday and this weekend, for a 4-game series. It's been a while since the Astros had a 4-game series, but they play the Orioles this weekend. And even though the Astros are like 5 or 5.5 games back from the top seed in the American League, you have a very hot series against the Baltimore Orioles, and you pick up some wins and they pick up some losses. The Astros are going to get even closer to potentially getting up there and becoming a top seed, because with how we saw them recently get so hot, they definitely could be capable to do that again and continue to climb up the ladders. This is a team that went from just a couple weeks ago, before they started to get hot, about 3 weeks ago, the Astros were it was like 1.5, 2 games back from the Mariners, and before today's game, they were 5 games. They had a 5-game lead. So they definitely, if they can get hot again in these next 2 series against great teams like the Phillies and the Orioles, I really think the Astros could find themselves even closer to becoming a top 2 seed, because right now the Astros are the 3 seed, being a division leader, and I think I'd love to see the Astros get into a top 2 seed, so you could get a bye and you don't have to run into a matchup in the wild card. That'd be great. I think that'd be great for the Astros right there. I mean, you don't have to be the number 1 seed, but just to be a 2 seed where you don't have to play in the wild card, and you go straight to the ALDS without having to match up against someone in the wild card. I think that'd be great for the Astros. But even though the Astros lost these 2 final games, I find a lot of positives in these last 2 games. Number one, let's start off with who came back in this game today. Justin Verlander made his return, and Justin Verlander looked good. There were some mistakes early on. Justin really had some struggles early on, but the thing that I thought that was really positive, 43 pitches in his first 2 innings, not good at all right there. But in his final 3 innings, he finished the day throwing a total of, it was like 76 pitches. So the next 3 innings after that took him 33 pitches, which is 11 pitches per inning, which is great, especially for a 40-year-old who's come back from the injured list after months of being injured. So very positive outing by Justin Verlander. And then the other guy who's been out for the last 5 games, and that is Alex Bregman, coming back today in his first at-bat, gets a home run to the Crawford Bach, and starts the Astros off with a bang. And shout out to Bregman getting his first ever leadoff home run. That's incredible. I mean, Bregman hasn't had many chances at that leadoff spot, has only had a couple this year, but that's something he did for the first time in his career today. So one positive is Justin Verlander and, Bregman coming back. The other positive I find is that even though the Astros lost their final 2 games of this series, the Astros still finished the season going 4-2 against the Boston Red Sox. So God forbid the Astros and the Red Sox were to have the same record to end the season, the Astros hold the tiebreaker. And then the third positive I have is even though the Astros lose a series against the Red Sox, the Seattle Mariners are currently facing the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Astros still hold a 4.5 game lead over the Mariners because the Mariners have been struggling against the Dodgers. Dodgers came back yesterday to win. Dodgers have won the first 2 games, and they could sweep the Mariners today. One of the only times I'll root for the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're heading up against if they're going up against the Mariners or the Rangers, maybe even the Yankees, I might root for the Dodgers as well. But so one last time, go Dodgers. The last time I'll say it because I don't think they play the Mariners again. But I think that's another really good positive. The Mariners have gained no leverage. If the Mariners win today against the Dodgers, they'll go back to being 4 games, having a 4-game lead, which is exactly what it was on Monday before the Astros started their series against Boston or Seattle started their series against LA. So even if they win, it's still right back to where it started in the beginning of the week. And if they lose, they get swept and we lose a series 1-2. I found that as a positive in the division. So let's get into this game though. Final score is 4-1, 8 hits for the Astros, 7 for the Red Sox, 0 errors in the ball game. Win goes to Winkowski. He's 4-1 in the year now. He pitched 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 0 strikeouts, 0 walks. Loss goes to Verlander. He's 3-3 on the year now. He pitched 5 innings, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. Save goes to Martin, his first save of the year. Pitched in the 9th, giving up 1 hit, which was to Zach DeZenzo, and a strikeout, which was striking out Trey Cabbage. Scoring summary, Tristan Casas, who finished off these final 2 games really hot after being terrible in the first game of the series against Yusei Kikuchi. He ends up having a first-inning single to center. Duran scored. It's 1-0. He's a new Astros killer. First inning, Bregman hits a home run to left, 361 feet. It's 1-1. After that, it was all Red Sox. Rafaela double to shortstop. Wong scored. It's 2-1. Rafaela RBI double again. Yoshida scored. It's 3-1, and then David Hamilton with a home run to right, 380 feet, 4-1. Bregman was the DH today. He was not playing third base. Playing third base was Shea Whitcomb. Bregman goes 1-for-4 with a home run. He did have the bases loaded in the 7th inning and fouled out to right. That's unfortunate for Bregman. Bregman has killer numbers with the bases loaded in his career, has been a monster, probably has the most grand slams on this team. He has been a monster with the bases loaded, and he even had, this season before that at bat, not even that bad with the bases loaded this year, had a batting average of 250 with the bases loaded before that at bat with the foul out. But that was a one-out situation, and Bregman, unfortunately, was disappointed there. But still, with him missing 5 games, him coming back and hitting a home run in his first at-bat, not disappointed at all. Yordan Alvarez also went 1-for-4. He singled to left in his second at-bat in the 3rd, but that was it for Yordan. How about Yainer Diaz playing first base for the second time this series? Reached base his first 3 times, reaching on an infield single to 3rd. Great speed in the first inning. And then in the 3rd inning, he walked Alvarez to 2nd. And in the 6th inning, he singled to right. His 3-game streak of hitting home runs ends, but he still reaches base in his first 3 at-bats. He tried to hit another home run in that 8th inning as he would fly out to right. Did put some power on it, but was a good catch by the right fielder, former Houston Astro, Abreu, Wilyer Abreu. And then after Yainer Diaz, Jeremy Pena went 0-for-4 with a couple strikeouts. Victor Caratini, after an amazing game on Monday night, Grounded out 3 times today. Jake Myers went 1 for 4 with a single to left. 2 for 4 day for Dubon. He's been killing it in the last week for the Astros. Double to left. In the second inning, he flied out to right in the 4th inning and had a single to center to get Myers to second in the 7th inning, which started that rally. Shea Whitcomb today went 0 for 2. He grounded out twice. His batting average is .267 in his first 5 major league games in his career. John Singleton would have a pinch hit appearance for him in the 7th inning and struck out looking. That was a situation where there's 2 runners at third and second with Jake Myers and Mauricio Dubon. I would have loved to see Shea Whitcomb in that moment right there. I know John Singleton has had some success recently. He hit a home run last night. In the 1st inning, hit a home run on Friday night in the 9th inning. But Shea Whitcomb, I believe, has played good enough, and even though he was 0 for 2 today, has played good enough in his first, in the start of his career right there to get that opportunity, which, and that could have changed a lot right there. But it is what it is. Zach DeZenzo did get an at-bat, going 1 for 1 with a single to right in the 9th inning, and he even got to play third base. I'm really upset with the Astros that they didn't give him more opportunities at third base. We saw Bregman out for 5 games, and Shea Whitcomb played every single game at third base. I love Whitcomb as a hitter, and he's not a bad third baseman, but Zach DeZenzo is a guy they really eye to be the future third baseman of the Astros. At the plate, he hasn't been too promising. He has shown some good things, but also shown some bad things. But I thought this was maybe more of an opportunity for them to give him playing at third base. But all we see is the last couple innings, just the 9th inning, playing third base. But 5 games, Bregman out. You'd love to see him get that opportunity, but he didn't. He got an opportunity in the end of this game, but that was it. All right. After Zach DeZenzo, Chas McCormick went 0 for 2 today. He grounded out and struck out swinging. I'm not going to say anything bad about Chas McCormick. I'm going to continue rooting for him. I have said bad things about Chas McCormick this year, but I learned last night that Chas McCormick has been really struggling throughout this, not just at the plate, but this has really taken a toll on him. And I feel like as fans, we kind of have gone maybe a little bit too far this year. It got to the point with Jose Abreu earlier this year where he was getting booed after at-bats. I know he was terrible, but, I feel like a great example, even though Phillies fans and Philadelphia fans aren't the greatest, last year a guy like Trey Turner was struggling so much, they cheered him on, and that lifted him up. And I want to use my social media presence with having almost 3,000 subscribers on YouTube to say, if you're at an Astros game, don't boo Chas McCormick. I haven't heard a lot of boos for Chas McCormick like I did Jose Abreu, but let's cheer him on. I tried to say something this way with Jose Abreu as well, but let's cheer for him. Let's all stand up at a game. Even though I don't plan to be at any games recently, even though the Astros are going on a road trip, let's root him on. And even if he continues to suck, he continues to suck. That happens. But if maybe us as fans could potentially have something to do with him lifting his spirits up, not just at the plate, but what's going on, because this is really taking a toll on him. He said something like he's struggling to smile, which is, I know that he's struggling really bad, but I hope maybe us as fans can potentially try to lift him up. And I think what happened with the Phillies and Trey Turner last year is a great example. But I'm rooting for Chas McCormick to get through this. Even though I don't really want to see him on the field, I think it's a bad idea to put him in the lineup. I'm rooting for him to get around his struggles right now. Trey Cabbage went 0 for 1 today. He did have a clutch 7th inning walk to get the Astros in scoring, or would get them the bases loaded. But then he was the last out in the 9th inning, struck out swinging. I already went over Justin Verlander getting the loss. He went 5 innings, had a great return. Brian King would pitch the 6th inning, struck out the side. Great outing by him. Taylor Scott, unfortunately, does give up another run. But the thing with Taylor Scott is they had him pitch a lot in this outing. Two innings for Taylor Scott. He gives up 2 hits and 1 run with 2 walks and 1 strikeout. But Honestly, I don't know how I feel about them having Taylor Scott go and pitch 2 innings when they're about to face the Orioles and the Phillies. That's a guy you're gonna need. But with him pitching 34 pitches today, I don't know how long it will be until he is available going up against these teams like the Orioles and the Phillies. I think he's gonna get a couple of days off and to start off that series against Baltimore. Maybe the first 2 or 3 games against Baltimore, I don't see him being available after pitching a lot today, 34 pitches. Then Seth Martinez, who got to stay on the team today due to Caleb Ort going on paternity leave. Congratulations to Caleb Ort and his wife for welcoming a new child. But Seth Martinez got optioned to AAA because Verlander got reinstated to the active roster. And you thought that would have been it for Seth Martinez. But then Caleb Ort gets placed on the paternity leave. Seth stays on the roster, gets recalled. He pitches the 9th inning in this game. He does give up 1 hit and 1 run, which was the Hamilton home run. But outside of that, there was no other damage in this outing for Seth Martinez. I'd like to see Seth Martinez stay on this roster over Sean Dubin. Even though Seth Martinez did give up a home run today, he still has a 3.04 ERA on the season compared to like Sean Dubin's 4.8 or 4.7 ERA. So when Caleb Ort does come back from the paternity leave, I'd love to see the Astros keep Seth Martinez on this roster and maybe send Sean Dubin down to AAA, but I don't think that happens. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros losing 4-1, but they'll get back in action tomorrow facing the Orioles in Baltimore. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and peace out. Go Astros.